Hello everyone, this is TrebleKnight, and welcome to a Q&A at 2K. That's so much fun to say. Well, anyway, okay, I'll stop. I recently hit 2,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and thank you guys so much. For some context, it took me a year to get to 1,000 subscribers after taking YouTube really seriously, but from 1K to 2K, it just took me 6 months. That is amazing. I wanted to grow my YouTube channel for so long, and to see it finally starting to appear is mind-blowing. I can finally feel like I'm starting to cross stuff off on that bucket list, and you guys helped make it possible. So, as a way to celebrate this big accomplishment, I've decided to do a Q&A at 2K. I like saying it, okay? Regardless, let's start. My questions are, what are your favorite video games? So that have to be Pokemon and The Legend of Zelda. I think Legend of Zelda knocks it up over the top just a little bit. And my favorite Zelda game would have to be Twilight Princess. There definitely is a lot of nostalgia for that game, but the quest is so epic. I absolutely love the dungeons. It has some of the best items in the game, from the Spider-Man hook shots to the freaking cannonball on a chain, and just amazing characters throughout. It's really good. Breath of the Wild comes in a close second, and then as far as Pokemon goes, it would have to be Pokemon Platinum and Pokemon Emerald. Again, nostalgia plays a really big role there, but the games are just so much fun to me. As far as fictional characters go, I really like Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars, especially from Star Wars The Clone Wars. There's a series called, well, not a series, there's a video called Obi-Wan Kenobi Master of Trolling. You can find it on YouTube, it's really good. I just love the story of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So yeah, he's definitely one of my favorite characters. As an INFP, what does open-minded mean to you? Well, I don't necessarily know what other INFPs think, but to me, open-minded is the ability to be able to consider other people's ideas, other people's perspectives, and honestly weigh them against your own ideas. I think it's really hard for people to be open-minded because we get so attached to our own personal biases. So I think open-minded is kind of the ideal, but it can also go too far if you're so open-minded you just take on other people's beliefs without ever even considering your own. Barnes the Noble, okay, I really like that username, asks, what are my sources? Books, YouTube channels, whatever. Okay, so I really rarely read books, which is a shame. I like to read more, but I don't. As far as websites go, typeminded.com is probably one of my favorite places, but I also use trudy.com, and there are a lot of YouTube channels I use. If I'm researching a topic, I'll just type it into YouTube and see whatever comes up. But off the top of my head, Cognitive Personality Theory's big, Love Who especially. His videos are really helpful. Psych2Go, Eric Thor, and Alexis Kingsley are all video creators I've come back to quite a bit. And I mean, there's plenty of other people too. As far as my take on the Enneagram, Voltology, Graphology, so I only know what the Enneagram is of the other two. I'll have to Google them later because I am curious. As far as the Enneagram goes, I don't know that much about it. I do think it's interesting, and I see a lot of it, the Enneagram specifically, in the New Age spiritual world. So I'm definitely gonna have to look more into that at some point and probably make a video on it, or all of them. I guess it depends how interested I am or not. Holy frick, Bilbo Baggins replied to my video. I actually do have a question. What topic should I choose for my English presentation? English as a second language. And, well, I don't really know about that first question. I'm assuming that your papers already do. But how about brands of bread? Which just seems really random, but hey, it could be fun to write about. And the more relevant question, what do you do besides your YouTube channel? Okay, so I have a website. You guys should check it out. It's really cool. I've had a lot of fun coding it. I also have a second YouTube channel that's for gaming. It's on hiatus. Guys, I have plans to make a new Let's Play soon, but it's so hard to find the time. But I think it probably means like outside of the internet, I guess. I mean, gaming is obvious, but I'm not that much of a gamer, to be completely honest. And I definitely try to focus on hobbies like outside of YouTube. I've been trying to get into journaling lately. I practice witchcraft. I like to draw, even though I'm not really any good at it. And I've been trying to learn to dance too, which I'm also not very good at. But hey, practice makes perfect. All right, this one has quite a few questions in it. What is the least accurate INFP stereotype in your opinion? I mean, probably I'd say, it seems like that INFPs are quiet and reserved. And while I think that might be true if they're in social situations, with leading FI, I'm pretty sure INFPs would be pretty opinionated and outspoken on most topics. So this idea of them being like timid little fairies, I think is just kind of wrong. If you were going to try to determine if someone was an INFP, but you could only ask them one question, what would you ask? What's your MBTI type? Oh, jeez, I have absolutely no idea. I guess maybe like a moral dilemma question, and then not necessarily look for like how they answer the question, but how do they come to it. But that's really hard because like FI is such a subjective function, so like it could be really anything. Yeah, geez, I'm not sure. This is why I don't offer typing as a service. If INFPs were a fruit, which fruit would it be? Lemons. We're very bright, but we can be quite sour too. And you can easily look at an INFP and think, oh, they're a lemon, or think, oh, they're a lemonade, just based upon your interpretation, I guess. I hope that made sense. If you could lead with TE for a day, would you? I mean, like, TE's not a superpower or anything, which probably isn't what you mean. Well, I'd hopefully use it to grow my YouTube channel. I definitely try to build systems and stuff to work with my channel, but I think TE could definitely help, especially if I were doing things I struggle a lot more with, like collabing and networking and stuff like that. So maybe TE could help with that. Which MBTI type do you think is the most emotionless? I don't like comparing people's levels of emotion because it's so subjective person to person. I'm a very emotionally expressive person, but just because you don't express emotions doesn't mean you're not emotional, because like you could be just emotional on the inside. I just don't think emotion is something that you can quantify. But if I'm looking at the cognitive functions, I'm gonna say probably ENTJs. I think TE is probably the least emotional cognitive function, and ENTJs lead with that. ESTJs do as well, but they have SI in their second slot, and because SI is about, you know, checking in with yourself, and I mean, I know it's about like checking in like with yourself about things like senses and stuff like that, not feelings like FI, but I don't feel like you can separate the emotion from SI. ENTJs, on the other hand, have NI as their second function, which in my opinion is a lot more detached. It's trying to narrow things down into one particular thing, I guess you could say. So just looking at, you know, the second cognitive function and the rest of the stack too, I think that ENTJs are probably the least emotional type based on cognitive functions. Face reveal. I do actually want to make a video about like face reveals in the future. I don't know when. So yeah, I mean, I guess stay tuned for that video if you want to hear my answer to that. Do you like meditating? Is it an INFP thing? An INFP wants to know this. Besides that, what do you choose to be? More pragmatic or emotional? Do you really enjoy roasting people? Okay, so, do I enjoy meditation? No, not really. Do I do it? Yeah, it's really helpful and I think everyone should do it. I don't know if it's an INFP thing. I mean, I guess it could be because, like, you know, INFPs are very in touch with themselves and meditation is all about getting in touch with itself. So I guess, like, meditation is very INFP stereotype-like. As far as do I choose to be more emotional or pragmatic? Usually emotional, but I definitely think that pragmatic is incredibly useful too, and I like to be able to switch to that when I need to, even though, frankly, I find that very hard. Do you really enjoy roasting people? I mean, it depends on who it is. If I'm in a relationship with somebody where I feel confident enough to where I can do that, then yes. But otherwise, no. Like, I think when people watch my videos, they oftentimes say that this isn't really a roast, and because it really isn't. I don't really want to be perceived as mean or anything in my videos, so I keep stuff pretty light. The jokes are there, but they're very light jabs. Thoughts on ya girl ENFP? So I actually did Google ya girl ENFP to see if it was like a webcomic or something or a YouTube channel. I couldn't find anything, so I'm assuming they just mean like my thoughts on ENFPs in general. I quite like ENFPs, they're one of my favorite personality types, very spontaneous, very fun, lots of ideas. You know, obviously being an INFP, I relate a lot, especially because like ENFP is the type that I think is closest to me outside of an INFP. And this is the last question. Ooh, favorite beverage. I think orange mango. It's a really good combination, even though I don't get to have it that much, sadly. But yeah, it's my favorite one. I've never had alcohol before, so that kind of eliminates anything like that, so it's not a pina colada or anything. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for hitting 2K. And we'll have to do something special in 3 months when I hit 3K. Let's manifest that. I've been TrebleKnight. Catch you guys all next time.